Hello there, and welcome to Killing Time. This is the show that searches for entertainment that does not suck. I am, of course, the one and only, or maybe there's like three of us in the world, Iyaz Akhtar. And with me, this time, I've got a list of the nicknames. The man who is hardly glowers, I already screwed it up. The man too sweet to be sour. The man who you shouldn't call at 6:15 a.m. because he may be in the shower. He is Juice Pop. He is Just Bob. He is Rob. Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good, minus the flub at the beginning, but I'm going to keep it in. Because,
absolutely, because we're not perfect.
And I
don't want anybody to think we are.
In the case you were worried about our perfection, maybe I wrote that flub in. So you feel a little bit better about yourself. But you wouldn't know that because you could probably read this anyway. And if you can read the address on the back, let me know because that would be bad. So don't read the address on the back. Anyway, have you seen anything new lately?
I haven't been seeing a lot of new things. I've been watching a lot of old things lately. You know, old 80s movies, things like that. You know, other than maybe I watch, The Flash and Black Lightning and things like that, but nothing outstandingly new that we haven't talked about before. What about you?
You know, I have been, this is completely out of left field because you were talking about 80s stuff. Now I'm thinking about the fact that I'm listening to Ready Player One in anticipation of the movie.
Great book. Well, I enjoyed it because it was pretty much written for people like me who love all the 80s nerd stuff.
Yeah, so about that. So I'm only 6 chapters in.
Yeah.
And there's so many loving 80s stuff. It's kind of like, okay, dude, we get it.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, it goes even further. Oh, yeah. This guy, the whole book is a love affair to the 80s. And you're going to get John Hughes movies and all the 80s video games and, all the pop culture from the 80s. He hits on almost everything through the course of that book.
It's one thing to mention them, and I understand how important they are. And if you haven't read the book, you should read the book before the movie comes out on the 30th of March. That's the reason why I'm listening to it, because Liz suggested it. I'm listening to it at around 1.5 speed, which means I can do nothing else while it's going on, because I will tell you, it is packed with info. The first 4 or 5 chapters are exposition, maybe, or of the 5 or 6 chapters, they're 80% exposition, and then there's a couple of things that show you the relationships between people. But otherwise, there's a whole world they're building, and I'm waiting to have this world built so I can move on to the meat of the story, because
it's coming soon. If you're 6 chapters in, I mean, I've read the book a couple of times, so you're getting there.
So Liz re-listened to the book, and then I started listening to it. Then she managed to finish it. Then she started listening to it again, and she's lapped me. She's at chapter 8. I'm at 6. But
Speaking of that, his other book, Armada, is very similar. Not quite as much of a love affair with the 80s, but there's a lot of 80s references and things like that in it. But it's a little on the different side. There's more just movie references in that one, and minimal. There's some video game things, but it's not quite as much. But pretty much, it's one of those things. If you like Ready Player One, you're going to like his other book, Armada, as well.
Yeah, so that movie's coming out on the 30th of March. It's being directed, I don't know if it's a screenplay by, but I know it's directed by Steven Spielberg.
And that's huge.
Yeah, see, now I thought so too, but can you name a movie in the last 20 years he's done that is good?
Huh.
Like, he's got a history. He's done some
he's got
work.
you always go back to E.T. and,
Yeah.
Then you do Jurassic Park and things like that.
He did Jurassic Park too.
Unfortunately.
Lost World.
Yeah.
And I see Minority Report coming in from the chat room downstairs. That's
there you go.
But I believe that's 20 years ago. Okay.
It's close. It's got to be close. Yeah.
He did do Indy 4. That's him.
Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you're worried?
No. Based on the source material, I don't think it's something to worry about just yet. The trailer looked really good. And it just seems like, from what I'm listening to in this book, a lot of it can be explained visually very quickly in a shorthand that the book takes a great deal of care to explain. Same thing with Harry Potter. I felt the same thing. Like, these 3 pages could be one shot.
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
They did. And that's why Harry Potter was able to create movies that, hit most of the information from the books without making it, 4 hours long.
Minority Report is 2002, says our statistician downstairs, Liz.
Okay.
Thank you, Liz.
All right. So 16 years.
That's not bad, but it's also 16 years ago.
Yeah. But it's not like you forget how to direct.
Okay. Let's.
I mean, the thing is, and this is more the type of movie like he used to direct, not like the things he's been directing, which have been much more dramatic, fair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see your point. Anyway, that's a total aside. Ready Player One, the book read by Will Wheaton. I like it so far. His reading is very fun, and it's fine. Oh, Catch Me As You Can is Catch Me If You Can. That is also 2002, so that's still the same time. So
Tom Hanks.
That's still 2002, so 16 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, find something in the last 5 years. So if you find something in the last 5 years, I'll talk about it on this show and how much I loved it. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be one. But let's talk about The Shape of Water. It's a movie. You haven't seen it yet?
I haven't seen it. It's getting a lot of buzz, awards buzz and things like that. So I know a little bit about the plot, but I'm guessing, since water doesn't have a shape, that's really not one of the big elements of the movie.
Yes, so it's a fairy tale. It's Guillermo del Toro. Excuse me, I can't say his name very well. He is the director and co-writer. He gets the story by credit. It's got a great visual effect for the amphibian man, which I'm sure you are aware of because it's kind of in all the trailers. So if you're spoiled by that and you're like, what? There's an amphibious man in this? Well, I just ruined it. So let me just hit this right now for the spoiler warning. Here's your bumper. Happy?
Boom, boom, boom.
That's enough of that. Anyway, let's go back to us here. Oh, here's the amphibian man coming up. That's actually Michael Shannon. I missed him in the shot. So you just have to use your imagination. Michael Shannon in this. Would you believe that Michael Shannon plays a bad guy?
No.
I know.
Never. Him? No.
So every time I saw the trailer for this movie, all I kept thinking of is, this is clearly Abe Sapien. I'm watching Abe Sapien the movie from Hellboy. Right. And the actor inside the suit is the guy who was Abe Sapien. It's Doug Jones. So Del Toro's worked with this guy before, and he's very good at being the prosthetics, but he's not Abe Sapien, even though to me he looks like Abe Sapien. That is beyond the point. This movie, it says beyond words now, because I can't get you a shot of the amphibian man. I promise one day you'll see him. There he is.
Question. Is it a period piece?
Yes, it is. Now,
people need to know that.
Let me explain something. The theater I went to see this in, I went to a local theater, and the time was around 4:15 on a Saturday. It was a very old crowd.
Okay.
It was a very strange thing. We're like, wait, is something going on? It's like, there's like a special on this today? And we're like, okay, maybe that's going on. But this takes place in the 50s, so maybe that was the key to this. They wanted to see the cool cars. They want to have the same experience. Or maybe it was a discount. I'm not really sure because that stuff happens. I'm going to get you a shot of this amphibious man. I'm waiting for this. I'm going to keep blathering. And one day I'll show you this. But if I show enough of the video in sequence, I get a nice copyright claim. You saw it in there for a second. There you go. It's a fun movie. It's essentially Beauty and the Beast.
Is it a good movie? I mean, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, it's good as long as you're thinking of it as a fairy tale, right? If you're thinking like, hey, that shouldn't work, and that shouldn't work, and that shouldn't work, that's not the way fairy tales work, right? It's like, okay, so this girl shows up, and there's the bears have built the house. Okay.
Okay, just accept it, yeah. And now the question is, what makes it so critically acclaimed? What's the acting? Is the acting the good part? Is it the visual that's amazing? Is it the characters and their chemistry? Most
of what you said there. I think you've actually hit on a lot of the stuff that makes it very interesting. It's got great acting. Okay. I believe the lead, when Del Toro was writing it, he's like, this is the person I want. That's the only, and then when he picked Michael Shannon as the bad guy, he wrote it for Michael Shannon. So they're already fit to the director's tastes, which is kind of nice. Obviously, Doug Jones being Amphibian Man, he's awesome. So even though you got these two characters, and spoiler, if you couldn't tell from the trailer, that the lead female character does not speak. She's a mute. So you got these two characters that can't talk, really, because one doesn't speak English and one is a mute. I mean, the other one's not mute. He makes noises, but he doesn't speak English yet. Well, that's not a spoiler. It's never yet. He doesn't start going later on like,
hello.
Excuse me. I would prefer to go home, wherever that may be. May I have a map? That does not happen in the movie. What else is about it? I mean, it looks beautiful. It's another Del Toro, just epic look to it. It's got
he's excellent at that. His cinematography, shots, amazing.
You know, all those fancy things that people like to fawn about movies about, like, there are parallels, and you got this one character who would never be able to speak, but here we have the lead who cannot speak, and you're like, yeah, I guess that's all true, and that makes it have a lot of layers. And I think arguably some of those layers are clouding the judgment of some of the people who are watching this movie, because they're like, it's so brilliant, it means more. It's kind of like watching or looking at an abstract painting, you're like, but it's still a red square, but it's brilliant. It's like, but is it? I think it was a good movie. I think it works on a big screen very well. I think it's shot really well. I think that if you're watching it on a little television or a little phone or something, you're going to see it's going to look like crap, because a lot of it's dark and underwater.
Yeah.
That doesn't really work well if your brightness settings are off or your contrast settings are off or any of that stuff. Let the professionals handle it. But like I told you, if you go at 4:15, you might be in for I think maybe their post-senior citizen lunch, dinner?
No, it must be, well, that's kind of right at their dinner time. That's early bird special time.
Yeah, so these are the outlaws, the outlandish senior citizens.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not eating at 4:15. I'm
going to see a movie.
And after that, I'm going to take a nap. And then I'll have breakfast. Now, I make fun of the elderly only because I plan to be a part of that team. And I will watch this back and go, you shut up. Shut up.
You little punk.
Don't you know that when you get up earlier, there's less people around and you could do more stuff and you're not in long lines? Don't you know that? I actually do know that because I do get up early and I already do that kind of stuff. So, that's me. Let's go check back with our Steven Spielberg reporter, Liz from downstairs. She says, Catch Me As You Can already. That's Munich, 2005. Still not within the last couple of years. Lincoln, 2012. That was 6 years ago.
I also was not a fan of Lincoln. I thought it was long-winded and...
Your history with Lincoln is just documented very well.
Okay.
I mean, you know, I don't like the Confederate flag you got tattooed to your back.
It's all good.
Kind of a problem.
Oh, I like Lincoln as the man, but, you know. By the way, no Confederate flag on my back.
No.
Born in Massachusetts.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So if you're listening to this, I'm actually like mortified. My face is like, no, I'm incredulous here. Bridge of Spies last year.
That was okay. See? I'll give him that.
Yeah, but is that good?
But there's still the drama. And not that E.T. wasn't drama, but it was a kid-friendly family-type drama. Bridge of Spies was not.
And the last one on the list is The Post with Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. The reviews I've read, not super positive. Now, I haven't seen it, so I don't want it to say, hey, this sucks. Lincoln is coming to Netflix, by the way, in mid-February. I'll watch it then. It's got Daniel Day-Lewis, who stars in stuff I don't understand, but I think it's really cool.
But he's amazing in everything he does. There's no question. He puts himself into every role 1,000%.
He could be
he does everything.
He could be playing a coffee table. I'm like, this is brilliant. But,
yes.
But okay, I get you're intense. You're a super tense table, man. But sometimes I'm like, what's the story? What's going on here? Yeah. Why are you yelling about a milkshake? Somebody tell me what's going on here. Didn't you have a son? What's happening?
Yeah.
I am
Understood.
I like that movie, by the way. The milkshake movie. The name of which escapes me. You know what name doesn't escape me? Our wonderful patrons.
Yes. Good segue. Well played.
Our supporters at Patreon are awesome. These four unique people. There might be the Fantastic Four. They've been with us super long, and they have a video credit because they help produce the show because they pledged a certain amount. It's about $10 a month, by the way. So if you're like, hey, what does that cost? It's $5,000 a month? No. Would you believe it's less than $5,000 a month? I'd believe it. So do these people. $10 a month. Get your names up here. And if you can't give that much, that's cool. Share the link, patreon.com/Iyaz. Maybe $1. We also put special features up because we try some stupid stuff before we start, and that usually goes out as a special. So we've had many, essentially double episodes as well. We've had our Star Wars episode was like 20 minutes of episode, and then like a 27-minute post show.
Yeah.
Because we came up with the logic. But so these things are available now on the YouTube channel because you get early access as a patron, and then they go up about 3 days later. But we try to figure out all the backstories for all the characters that had no backstory, like the liquor. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Yes, you do. You all do. I don't think I'm going to top that. There's no way.
No.
We got to get out of here. We do new episodes every week. I'm trying to get us back on a set, 7-day different thing, but we're working on it. So we will see everybody next time. And you can check out our YouTube channel, finitecomedy.com, or killingtime.tv, which is in the corner right there. There's the corner right there. So we're going to get out of here. So long.
Okay.